We have a minute here. We're looking at the beautiful. Oh, the music for the lore. The Lycanthrope.
I feel like I'm going into a different game that's not Dota.
I mean, Lycanthrope is a man who turns into a wolf.
Thank you for the lore segment,
You're
SVG. Fantastic as always. Really illuminates.
I mean, that is honestly like a most just. Let's see. I mean, we have another Alc game. This hero is. He's looked. I think this hero's look best when you play him in these lineups where you have an objective taker, so you can force the issue when he hits his timings, like, which is really Radiance, BKB, and then like the Blink, AC, and you just keep rolling, right?
Yeah.
But you got to make those hits count with the hero, otherwise, I don't think he wins a lot of the late game carry battles. As we talked about, he's definitely not going to win them here in Muerta and Doom, negating his regen. You do have some pretty good scale between the Grim, Lycan, and Pango to pick it up. So I don't know if Gaimin are afraid of going too late, as maybe they never are, but this is really a lineup designed to like get the helm of the Overlord. If you're not afraid of playing it into the Doom, and just roll with the Alc, right? You have a decent amount of sustain between Lycan, Enchantress, and the Alchemist to easily go higher on early, whereas Blacklist are relying on some heavy cooldowns. I think this is maybe a scarier game than last time for Blacklist. Like, last game we saw, they messed up once, and that game just ended.
Yeah.
This is like a similar setup. If you misuse a Doom, you misuse a Pierce the Veil, suddenly Gaimin are on your side of the map, they're just going to take racks. You don't have any base defense here. So
yeah, I think last game
they had
they had Spirit Breaker, right? Like, I felt like that was a hero that could actually make some moves early and stop Gaimin Gladiators from rolling you over at like that 15 to 20 minute mark. And this time around, they have Doom. You know, I just don't feel the same. They've got Clockwork, who I feel like is not in a good spot in this game. Anyway, I mean...
Yeah, this Lycan just made a lot of their picks look a little weak than I think they did up to that point. Because it's a lot of single target. Their only real AoE control in the fight is on Abed. And I think he's also a decent amount of their sustained damage as the fight goes on until Muerta is strong enough to stand around and just fight all these cores back. And they don't really have control for everybody. Like, you can Doom the Alc, but then the Pango kind of gets a free fight. You can maybe Doom the Lycan before he ults to, like, start a fight, but then Alc's just going to tear you up. So, like, you gotta have to pick your poison in a way. And I think if Gaimin get all three of their cores online, that's when this game is going to be the scariest. Now, if Blacklist manages to shut down 1 or 1.5 out of the 3, then it makes their lives a lot easier.
Yeah.
But that's why I like this Grim Lycan combination. I think the lane's very strong. I think Lycan frees the Grim up to gank mid as well, which could be an option depending on how this mid matchup goes. And like Inkswell Wolf is no joke. It's an easy way to start any sort of skirmish or fight. It's a great scouting tool. It's very annoying to play against.
And that was a big advantage for Blacklist in game number 1, was the fact that they seemingly always had the vision advantage thanks to their multiple invis heroes.
And I think if Blacklist don't start the fight, it's very
big kill if they can get it. You said they need to be able to shut down some of these heroes early, and they get the first blood and don't even trade out. In fact, Celery might die too. Okay, his heal's going to make sure he's fine, but still, very bad trade-off for Gaimin Gladiators. Give up the first blood and lose their Alchemist.
Yeah, kind of a weird first blood to give up against Scorched Earth Pug. There's no real stuns or anything, but
yeah,
just got out man-fought. Well, Celery will get a Harpy. He wants it up here with the level 2. Zap Tim's down.
I think we talked a fair amount of doom and gloom for Blacklist in this game, but I will say a highlight of that game up until the last 5 minutes, and really I think it was just that mid-fight. The second fight that they had at the very end of the game was just, that was just kind of like panic setting in. They were going to get megas. I think it was the fight before that, it was really just one mistake. I think every other part of the game, Blacklist did a really good job. I think it was literally just Gabby's decision not to control up the Luna, lost them that one fight, and then the whole game turns against them so rapidly. But everything else was, I was very impressed by Blacklist.
They played a lot of those other fights really well. So I'm looking for that to happen. I think this, I mean, Doom and Gloom is one way to say it. I just think this lineup it's a pretty high execution lineup. It doesn't make it bad, it doesn't make it worse, but like I do think the onus is on Blacklist to like show up in this game, you know? Make the team fights work, land the spells, connect the control and the damage, which isn't so obvious in this game. Like, you want to hook shot in, cog somebody, and use that to let Muerta hit, right? Like, there's not a lot of BKB control, there's no big catch spell, so you have to sync these things up really well at the right times, connect the jump and the damage. That's when their lineup's going to shine. That's just very high execution, whereas Gaimin are like, I ride dumb ogre with greed into battle.
Yeah.
And I play non-real hero, and I have wolf. Man, it's, you know,
Some caveman Dota for sure. They're going to be running at you.
I mean, there are high skill elements, but it's a lot less punishing if something goes wrong. Ace will get picked up too, so both side lanes. Blacklist making some moves, and I mean, Raven sitting at the top of the CS board here as well. This lane's going really well for him.
I think it's really important for Carlo to succeed in this lane because I don't know how a Clockwork that has a bad laning phase does anything in this game against a lot of these heroes, right? Enchantress and Alchemist both have some heal over time that cancel out Battery Assault. Lycan has his Wolves.
I'll tell you how he does lane.
Yeah, okay.
Through sheer will.
Why didn't you use that?
I did, but I had Quinn holding me back the whole time.
Oh, okay, okay. What, he was willing? He was willing you guys to lose?
Will's a hell of a drug.
Nice stomp.
Yeah, it is a nice
Good
stomp.
Decrepify, though. I was going to bring that up. The Decrepify being used to dodge the damage from Unstable Concoction is a really nice counterplay. That's going to be a continual counterplay, right? You have Swashbuckle, you have Lycan Wolves.
Timeout denied. So the thing about this Doom is he's also pretty nice versus the Ench because you can eat a lot of the smaller creeps and they're very nice for you. In fact, they're usually better for you than the Enchantress on the early levels. Yep. And you already got mana burn for Gabby, so he is living the dream as Tim's is as well as he gets the mana regen aura. Huge on this hero. I mean, they're just both out regenning, gaming on this lane versus an Ench Alk, not easy. Mana burn super nice versus Dyrachyo, who's, I mean, he has mangoes, right? Bought an extra mango here just to keep the kill threat up while he's getting burned.
Yeah, it's crazy how that Devour just single-handedly is going to win them the resource war. Take away the mana from Dyrachyo, give them unlimited mana for Tims to be thrown around. Gabby is going to be in some trouble, though. Decrepify, once again, going to be put to use here. Yeah, it does have a Devour, but that's going to pop out the little golems, and those do a lot of damage. Little Doomlings are going to be the return damage onto Dyrachyo.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if he wanted to eat that. I think the mana burn was
bad.
Better. Yeah. So Celery gets the better of that exchange. He just runs him down the lane. I always wonder if it's better in those situations to just sit there and right-click Dyrachyo back. Like, even if you die, who cares, right? If you take Dyrachyo down to 100 HP and you come back, like, really that sad?
Yeah, it's a long ways for him to get level 6, so...
Right. I feel like in a lot of these exchanges, I don't think people have the wrong read, but like they just try and survive, and sometimes it's better to just trade and come back. And the end result in the lane is often better for you.
That's a cool bit of synergy. Howl plus Unstable Concoction during nighttime, right?
Yeah,
they could just,
minus armor.
at any point in time, give that
and the Blightstone.
Nuke some extra damage.
They've really upped the minus armor synergy on this lane, and it's working well as Alec is top of the board. Arcane rune for Quinn.
Quinn and Abed faking each other out, but Abed does manage to land the combo. The shield crash gives him a little bit of help, though, but the Battery Assault's going to be able to stop that Rolling Thunder. Couldn't get far enough away. A very well-executed gank by Blacklist, in particular Abed.
How did Tims not use Decrep in any of that?
What do you mean?
He just didn't Decrep him.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure Kunkka could get the hit in.
Yeah, but isn't Decrep for the boat damage? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's probably
like
more damage if he gets hit with every single spell that goes in.
But he didn't even use it after it hit. That was insane. Tims knows more than I do. Raven is trying to get run down a bit.
Trying to run down, but of course the Wolves are going to tank up the damage, and Celery is perfectly fine.
Knocking at your door. Wisdom runes get split. But most of these supports are going to be similar level, but I mean, Dyrachyo's eventually going to start to pick the pace up in the jungle. So if you're Blacklist and you give this lane to Ace while Dyrachyo is free farming, I don't think you're going to feel good for the next 5 or 6 minutes. And the question is, can you make a move or do anything with that? I think normally you'd want to gank this Lycan with the Kunkka. Maybe once or twice, shut him down. Abed gets some extra golden XP. Your Murtha can stand on the lane longer. You defend this tower. It slows all of Gladiator's game down. That would be the big move for me, but does Abed want to try and commit to it? He hasn't gotten the power rune. This is 8-minute power rune might decide a lot of this early game.
It seems initially they want to put more pressure on mid, which is where Gaimin Gladiators are free to dominate this safe lane.
Again, Dyrachyo just making great moves out of the safe lane the whole tournament.
Yeah, I think he's one of the carries to watch when it comes to using these gates. I think him and Mickey were probably the two carries that use the gates the most.
Maybe there's a reason it's them two, right? They're doing it to each other.
Arlo in some trouble. Good use of the Inkswell. Not just the Wolves, it seems, but Celery also has some companions to make nice synergy with.
The nice thing about these carry moves is like Daracha goes bottom, he kills the enemy carry, he goes back through the gate. Now all of a sudden it creates a vacuum where Blacklist, they're likely going to try and send somebody bottom, or, you know, Raven's going to have to TP back bottom. And then when Daracha goes back top, the chances he gets ganked or pressured up there are a lot lower. Like, he's making this move, it's helping Ace, it's progressing Gaimin's game plan, and it's freeing up some space for himself. And it results in this tower just going down without a fight. This is a tower I think Blacklist really wanted to take fights
Carlo,
around.
I'm not sure if you want to be in that.
Yeah, you're in the wrong neighborhood, son.
It is delayed long enough for Ahmed to be able to show up. The problem is they're going to be running out of damage here. They have the X, yeah, to pull him back, but into what?
Just keeping out. Good luck, Tims, later.
Clean that throw a little bit more damage around. He does manage to get the Helmet Dominator creep, I think, but...
Yo, Tims, how'd that fight go? Did you kill them all, bro?
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
That was poorly planned out by Blacklist, I believe.
This is another reason this lineup is high execution, because your damage committal is not that obvious. Like, you have Pugna Clock supports. It's not that fast. There's no burst. It's not like you have a Skyrath off of X-Torn or something to commit high burst damage.
Yeah.
These cores are tanky. I don't know how easy it is to really kill anything in this game without Doom, or you get someone trapped in like an isolated cog.
I mean, you definitely need Tims to be level 6, right? That is a huge buffer in damage for you. These tanky heroes, you control them long enough with X and cogs, then the life drain can give you the damage you're missing. But he wasn't level 6 for that last fight.
Also Decrep levels. I'm kind of surprised he went 3-1-1. I mean, this might seem obvious, like, oh, well, you want the damage, but I think when you have these, like, Kunkka combinations, I think you can go, like, 1-3-1 and just play it, because the cast range is what you kind of need.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I've seen it be viable.
I've played so many games of Pugna.
I mean, I'm not saying anybody's going to do it.
I can't even imagine doing that.
Yeah, you can't. But I'm telling you, it's viable. My point is, he needs the levels later to get the extra cast range for this thing, so that you can combo the Decrep boat damage, because that's a lot of your combo damage in this game.
I mean, I agree, but there's no way that leveling up Decrep gives you more damage than leveling up Blast in like 90% of scenarios.
I mean, how much more damage?
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's 10% extra magic damage you're giving with each level up Decrep.
I mean, 20% extra damage with Decrep levels off a boat. That's dealing 400 compared to 80 more damage.
Yeah,
but
you're also
not that far off.
But you're getting more blast. You're not getting one blast in.
Yeah,
you're
of course. The blast
in
is way more damage over the course of a fight.
Yeah.
But the cast range.
Okay.
No, nobody likes this idea. All right, well, this is how creativity is killed. Well.
I said okay. I was entertaining the idea. Because one of the downsides of Pugna, when you're losing fights like this, is you're losing out on levels, and you can't get to max out Nether Ward and maxed out Decrepify.
You gotta pick.
One of them's gonna suffer.
I mean, he wants Blast this game for like the summon clear as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any reason you do it this game, but I'm telling you, there are some games where that build is viable.
If this wasn't the game for it, then why'd you bring it up?
I just thought it was interesting. I mean, 90% of the things I bring up aren't relevant. Why did that?
That is true.
Big hook shot from Carlo.
Denies the double damage, but it's going to be stuck here. This is where this combination starts shining, is if you can get pickoffs and hold somebody inside the cogs, then Pugna.
Yeah, then Tim can run up, and he doesn't need the extra Decrep cast range. He can just get in there at close quarters and deal the shotgun blast. So
another reason not to level up and max out Decrepify early.
I mean, these are like healthy discussions. You just think about the game. Whenever you think about the game, you're going to get better. That's what DSJ told me. They're going to look for a win. And they get another isolation. So the isolation kills is where this trio shine.
Yep. The cogs keeping Ace back. Ace may not be able to get a return kill. Good use there of the bird to push him back in. The Hurricane bringing Carlo into striking distance for the Unstable Concoction. Doesn't get the damage because of the Decrepify, but Tim's just chased away and can't heal Carlo. So
it's a long chase down.
It is a one-for-one trade-off, but it was a lot of heroes came together on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. All they got was the support out of it.
I mean, they just farmed 6 cogs. That was actually pretty nice. You got some Greevil's Greed as well.
Guess so.
That might have been worth more than the clock.
Now you got to tell me you shouldn't level cogs.
Well, now there are some builds where you can go 3-0-2.
He got 114 gold out of that.
Damn, look at that. Yeah, does that count the Greevil's greed, though?
No.
No, exactly. So that's really like 700 gold with interest factored in.
Compound interest, of course, every second that goes by.
Well, yeah, because gold for Alk is worth more than anybody else, not just because of Greevil's greed, but because he accelerates with it faster than any other carry.
But he already has Radiance, so the acceleration has already been hit. It's not like BKB is going to accelerate as
Ooh,
far.
nice little bounty. Well, but the BKB lets him fight, which means he accelerates it for the team. Every little bit counts.
Did you debate in high school? I feel like you're really good at BSing.
No.
It's a shame. I think you would have been very good at it.
Ooh, you're stuck.
He needs to be able to get away from the Pugna,
Broke
but
the link.
stuck together. They'll be
Dang.
able to collect both the kills.
Slice and dice with the angles. I feel bad for the supports in this game, man. This is going to be one of those games where you're going to have 10 deaths no matter what.
Yeah, it's like congrats, you got like 1 or 2 pickoffs, but now Gaimin Gladiators are going to group up and take objectives away from you. And Blacklist, I don't think they have the team fight to respond to that.
No. Damage is overwhelming now. You have Max Inkswell with a Diffusal Pango. You have the Wolves going in. Helm of the Overlord is coming out for Ace right now. And they're looking to steal the enemy Ancient Golem here and just get a great fight off it. This is going to be an insanely fast timing that Blacklist might not be ready for. You can Solar Crest these heroes in as well. Somebody's just dead. Like, what is the
Carlo
response?
just can't even get off a spell there.
Look at the
Sounds up
goal.
immediately, and everybody's running in. No, no, Raven TP'd into this one. This could get really bad if Gaimin Gladiators are able to run down all these heroes, but they're going to turn and fight onto the high ground here. The Enchanter's going to be in a bit of trouble. He's going to be stuck to death. The army is also going to be dying here. There's a lot of AoE damage coming out, but Dyrachyo is finally able to catch back up here. The Unstable Concoction landing onto the Kunkka, but he's got a Blade Mail. Abed doing a good job creating space for the Muerta in the back lines.
Even got Nex on the way out.
Yeah, might be able to get the kill onto Dyrachyo. They're going to throw the Doom out on him, and Raven pops the ultimate, guaranteeing it.
That went horribly for Game. Maybe just too deep. They couldn't run into the calling.
Yeah.
Raven really messed them up there on that hill. They just didn't want to commit. Celery's just stuck in no man's land.
Whoa, 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 these items. Pick them up. Jesus.
Well, guess the fight's not over. Golem still had unfinished business.
He got him after the Rolling Thunder on that
Abed.
X. Great timing by Abed. Wow.
That was beautiful. So another bit of an overextension here. I mean, it's not always long enough.
I think that was a direction thing, but you know, you wanna say that in broadcast, that's fine.
What?
Aghanim's Scepter almost done for Abed. He's about halfway through. See this, I mean, great read by Blacklist to make this turn on the high ground.
I think if Dyrachyo gets in here with that stun, it's a bit of a different fight, but he just stuns himself and then gets boated, and then you have to come into the calling plus bow rum on Abed. Like, nobody can get in here, right?
Yeah.
Quinn's
Calling
just
plus
sitting
the
there.
ward, even though...
Yeah, Pugna Ward plus calling plus you have to run into, like, the Doom that's still waiting. I thought that was going to be a lot better just because of this Helm of the Overlord, but didn't translate to that much damage, I guess.
Back in the real time where
Okay.
Quinn is caught again.
I mean, Blacklist continuing to impress me with their combinations and moves on the map. They feel very comfortable playing around Abed in these mid games.
Torrent not going to land. Celery sidesteps it, but it also means he's stuck in a corner here. They saw where he's at, and they're going to catch him with the X. And Carlo get there to continue to hold him, and there it is. The hook shot finally lands.
Ooh, the Centaur Stomp.
He's good use of that one. Magic damage. It's taken a lot here.
That's
Celery
enough.
will not go down. The Cloak making the difference there on the 1300 HP Enchantress with maxed out Nature's Attendant.
That's the difference between a professional player and a casual like you, Austin. You would have given up there. You would have blamed your team. Where's our vision? Where's my carry?
I would not be playing
But Celery,
Enchantress
he plays it out.
in the
He
first
stomps
place.
him, he has a cloak, he knows his limits, and he's out of there. And that's called space.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with being a casual. Okay.
Yes, there is.
The hell?
No, there's no such thing as a casual Dota player. I think that's a myth.
Oh, I've met them. They're out there. They go into the game with an idea that they're just gonna have fun. They don't try and,
Yeah, okay.
win. It's a very weird concept to me.
Yeah,
I don't really understand it.
Well, power to them. You know, I'm sure they're living their greatest lives out there. 15 wolves have been killed. Now, is that more than the amount of cogs that have been killed? That's the real question here. And how many wolves equal a cog?
What is this arithmetic?
And Dota2
Got him.
finds us another solo kill, man.
Is under attack.
Feels like he's the only carry who's like finding these random kills and gate moves and random stuff like this.
It's because he plays so aggressively on the map.
Yeah, it's because
Nobody
he never,
expects him to be in these spots.
like all these other carries are like farming on their sides. They're doing ancients. This guy hasn't seen an ancient camp in like 10 years. You just got to make something happen.
Can we check out the Muerta? Because I feel like we haven't seen Muerta for 95% of this game. And his net worth was pretty bad until that last successful fight they had there. But it's bumped him up a little bit more, 9K.
Just
No
rushing
Midas or
Mjolnir.
anything, just trying to rush some of the early stat items and straighten the Mjolnir. Got him on the
Making
X-Pull
another go.
back there, allowing the boat to be able to land. And the hook shot lands to follow it up. Good combination. Once again, put together by Blacklist. Win.
Instant smoke. They want to fight with this Torrent Storm because that actually just got completed for Abed. No Pangolier. Gaimin get caught here. This is a terrible team fight for them.
They're missing their biggest team fight tool, and Kunkka with an Aghanim Scepter is nigh
just
impossible to beat in this kind of situation. They got to get out of here. He's going to pop it. He spots some of these heroes.
I mean, there's a BKB, so he can BKB TP. That's going to be a wasted one for Dota2. Does not want to have to do it.
Yeah, he may not know. The hook shot isn't up right now.
He wants to turn.
They're going to turn and fight a little bit here.
This is dangerous, though, because that Doom is waiting, right? You get caught in a bad position on like an X-Doom, you're gone. They did get the ult out of Ace as well. So once more, Blacklist pretty disciplined in these fights. They bait out some spells, retreat, go farm the map. Maybe they feel like they're happy going late with this Doom-Alk matchup with Midas, Octarine going to work for Gabby.
I would feel very happy about going late Muerta against Alk.
Yeah, I think you're pretty confident here. I mean, the other factor is you're almost level 15 on the Doom as well, so you can get this Devour the Ancient talent and just eat the wolves, creep out of the fight. And that's a pretty big swing.
I feel like Gaimin Gladiators does this sort of thing a lot, where they try and all-in Roshan in sneaky situations, even if they're missing certain ultimates. But doing against the Clockwork, that's a bold idea.
Tough to commit in the pit versus the Kunkka. It will draw Blacklist into an open fight. Probably what Gaimin want right now if Dota2 can find the opening with like Blink, BKB Alk with an Inkswell on top. Start the fight on your terms, you're going to be really happy. Neither team has warded this cliff.
Crazy. They've got good use of the courier there from Tofu to scout out whether or not the smoked up Blacklist puts a ward there, and they swap places.
They get the D-ward.
Finally get a show. They've taken the Roshan pit on the side of Blacklist with the vision advantage.
They can't do it though, so
No.
Gaimin can just scout. They can just send the units in. They can also just push bottom lane. This tower just died for free. Tier 2 gone for Blacklist bottom.
There's a big wave pushing in top as well. So Blacklist
Yeah, they're losing on the map, but this fight is the important fight.
pushing Carlo over the side here. He wants to control this high ground area if he can, using the cogs to do it as best he can. But Blacklist are really not seeing an opportunity to jump out here. They're just going to forfeit the Clockwork. He's going to buy back potentially, and they're going to need him too because Quinn is rolling through, and they found the Muerta. Chaining up the stuns and getting a free bowling ball, just striking through all these heroes. But at the same time, the Muerta did manage to get off the ultimate and output a little bit of damage. Not enough to get a serious kill out of this. In fact, Celery somehow is still alive with his nature's attendance. He'll finish off the Muerta by himself. Blacklist put themselves backs against the wall.
And it did not work out.
No, not at all.
And once more, Abed just TP's out. He's the only survivor here. Yeah, you give him a jump like that. I mean, it was a great jump with the Inkswell Alk. You have the Pango rolling through a corridor. You just can't escape. There is no BKB on Raven. Like, Raven gets caught under the stuns. The fight's kind of done, right? He gets a return kill. You do get the Doom on the Alk. So, some of your spells go to work how you want them here, but the boat, there's no roam on anybody here. It's only Abed. It's another one-man boat roam. It's not just not doing them any favors. I mean, look at the backside of this fight. Like, that is not a place you want to be caught in if you're Gabby.
Yeah.
You have BKBs, that fight's very different, but... And it's just Celery who finishes Raven off. All his cores are hiding in the corner. He's like, I'll get the job done. Don't worry, boys.
The only target he could hit after Tofu was Celery, who's got untouchable. That's not an ideal fight for Muerta.
Nope. And if you're not winning the fights with Muerta, you fall behind. Because Hero is generally slower clearing through lanes than clearing through the map. More susceptible to getting ganked, and that's a big swing. Aegis, a team fight, more time on the map for Alchemist.
The pipe complete for Celery. This this
It's high
army
ground.
that is coming their way from the Lycan, it's not so easily dealt with anymore.
Yeah, you have AC as well for Ace. So the minus armor between Acid Spray plus the AC. You also took the Acid Spray grants armor talent on Duracho, which, you know, pretty standard talent, but all this adds up. You're really tanky in this ball. Solar Crest on top of it, Pipe on top of it, Solar Crest, or the Untouchable for the Ench when she gives Solar Crest to somebody else.
Oh, pulling him in a little bit. Good use there of the tidal wave, and it'll get a BKB out of Duracho.
Another early boat just to dissuade it. Will force a BKB, as you said, but they'll take the tower and probably be happy with it.
They've got 3.5 minutes to use this Aegis and clean up maybe the top lane if they want to. Take some Ancients, take the Outpost.
I mean, the only downside for Gaimin during this period is if you let Blacklist get to their BKBs. Right, that's what'll change these team fights a lot. Because then all of a sudden you have a lot more standing power. The Pangol's not as annoying. It's not a guaranteed team fight win, but you're looking for 3 here on all 3 cores. That's going to have big timing. Gabby will definitely get his first, but the other 2 are going to be very slow if you can't win a fight and you're just stuck in your base, which right now, who's on the map for Blacklist?
Yeah, surprisingly, not a single hero, not even Doom, who has that Boots of Travel, has been able to slip the noose here and get out on the map somewhere.
The person farthest outside Blacklist base right now is Mushi, so it's not, you're not gaining anything.
And he's not happy sitting there, that's for sure.
He is not. This is a tough position. Now, this is a lineup that can turtle a bit and, you know, hit that BKB timing, try and swing the game back. It's just this is the position Gaimin likes to put you in. But they get the Aegis control, they control the map, and then they force the high ground with their big aura timings. And right now, it's lining up pretty damn well. This is the bend but do not break moment for this Blacklist lineup, and it's got to be around Abed. The fight has to be centered around this boat connecting on multiple people for the roam. I think has been an aspect that's been missing in a lot of the past fights, and this Torrent Storm needs to, like, you know, create an anchor they can fight around. Suck them in.
Pull back in. The Pango managed to get the Doom, but immediate response. They got the Soul Bind on it too, and that puts the Doom in a nasty position while the Clockwork is getting ripped apart by Duracho. Forstaff trying to get Gabby out of here. Not good enough. Blacklist. That'll be Elena Barracks. Gaimin Gladiators. They got you just where they wanted you. Force a mistake out, and they can take a lane, maybe even more.
And this is the downside of Doom versus these like pseudo tri-core lineups. You pick your poison, as we said at the beginning. Okay, you catch Quinn, you doom him. Even if he dies there, you still lost the fight.
Yeah.
The other 2 cores just have a freebie. Duracho instantly goes in because the second Doom is gone. Alk is invincible. And now, your Doom is on cooldown even when he respawns, so you just gave the green light for Gaimin to push with this Aegis. Another minute still on the clock.
They have pretty good
pull in 30.
So they might still be able to hold this one. Tidal Wave pulling back some heroes once again. Can't really capitalize on it. Duracho will stun himself underneath the tier 3 tower. Okay, never mind. Inks well.
You get a Rolling Thunder out of it. So Doom back up. Maybe you can catch with an X.
Yeah, the Trepify can slow down the Lycan long enough for the X to arrive.
Probably going to hook him here.
Got him back in. Okay, Raven gonna pop the ultimate. There's the hook shot to make sure that the Lycan, who got a Forstaff, okay, caught a random Torrent, does manage to die.
The RNG.
A little lucky there, but just what Blacklist needed. A Tidal Wave trying to push in Duracho even further. They're gonna catch him, try and burn away that Aegis. Duracho's trying to limp away, but he won't get out. He's gonna be stuck here, and he's gonna be coming back into a Cox, pushing him into Raven with all that damage. He's gonna BKB, TP out, but the Doom doesn't stop him.
Yeah, that was ambitious. Might kill him in the fountain. It's going to be close. I think he'll live, but still, good fight for Blacklist. And that's about best you're going to get there. Really nice setups by Abed with these tidal waves pulling people back. It's just enough that it prolongs their escape, and you get that decrep into, you know, this X hook shot combination that just locks the wolf down long enough. I mean, those are the type of fights you're looking for when you can isolate targets. it's going to work out the best for you. And of course, that started by baiting out this Rolling Thunder by Quinn.
Yeah, because if the Rolling Thunder is active, you're probably not getting that single target damage under the hero that you're looking at.
And that fight needs to go on long enough that your Doom comes off cooldown. Which it did at the very end, but that's what'll secure you that second go around. Unlucky it doesn't cancel teleport anymore, but hey, take it up with Ice Frog.
Have you noticed, by the way, in these games, I remember Team Spirit, huge priority in being able to take these Tormentors. I feel like nobody's really taken that same pace, you know?
Games have felt a bit more skirmishy, but maybe that's just early LAN vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe Team Spirit's just better than everybody else.
Well, that
wouldn't surprise me.
They proved that by winning TI, yeah, but I feel like usually you copy the best team in the world.
So, well, who does Team Spirit copy?
Nobody. They innovate.
Oh, well,
that's why it's hard to stay ahead.
Well, then if you want to be the best team in the world, you should innovate as well.
No, first you have to catch up, and then you have to innovate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Also, I don't think innovating by not taking Tormentors is a thing.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is. You never know. Maybe the shards are overrated.
That can't be the case. Here we go.
Wow, that's a satisfying sound, actually. Why'd the lizard? Oh, the lizard went back through bottom. He's on his own journey.
Yeah, where's he going?
Where is he going, actually?
Is he going to deny the bounty rune?
Dude, I love when it's like Ace's camera on this. It's like he's just playing the lizard.
He's looking for the
checking
power.
The rune. I'm checking the rune, guys. There's no rune. Oh!
Oh, no! Ace is dead.
Been slain.
Well, you can see what Gaimin Gladiators want to do. Push out top lane. Because Roshan is going to be spawning on the... well, actually, what am I saying? Roshan's going to spawn on the Radiant side, most likely.
No,
so.
I mean, they can't push top if they want to force Blacklist back and then, like, smoke the bottom corner. That's a route you can play the map right now. As Blacklist, they bought a gem, and they're just trying to secure any amount of vision. They did get the BKB, so they have a BKB on both Gabby and Raven. The Raven's BKB is the most important, right? And this is where the lockdown needs to sync up. Like, you need to lock somebody in a cog. And somebody in a Torrent Storm or a Tidal Wave or something while Raven is sitting there BKB hitting. That is the entirety of the fight for Blacklist. If that does not connect, you're probably in trouble. Yeah, surprise.
Almost getting him to his Shivas. Blacklist playing for Roshan. A lot of objectives for Gaimin Gladiators up, though. Took the tier 2, took the outpost back. And it's going to be a late Roshan, so that's going to feel bad for Blacklist.
They're just going to TP bottom. So this top lane is pushing in for Gaimin, but it's not a huge wave. And they don't have vision on this bottom Roshan pit. It's a tough position for them to push into. However, they did finish up the Nullifier on Ace. Worth mentioning here is, you know, that Decrep not as good for the Pugna himself in the fight, but the triple BKBs are out. So in theory, this Nullifier might not get that much value for Ace if he just runs in a triple BKB core who are sitting there man-fighting you back. We'll see who gets on the backline first, who gets the jump. I still think Blacklist would rather jump a single target core if they can get that going. I just don't know how reliable that is because their vision mechanisms are, you know, rocket flare. However, if Gaimin run into this ward, that's a different matter. That's a pretty good rocket flare.
Vision. Caught him on the bridge, too.
Okay, I mean, that's a hell of a vision mechanism, I guess.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, when you said all they have is rocket flare, I was like, you mean like the best vision in the game?
I mean, not versus smokes and breaking them, right? Like, that's the weakness of it.
Oh, he managed to get caught on it too, but can them where to capitalize on this one. A little bit too far away, but they do manage to get the BKB already out. Rolling Thunder, not really doing too much either.
Yeah, they're kiting it out.
Blacklist have kited this out pretty nicely, and Gaimin Gladiators is stuck in kind of an awkward position here. Yeah, they do manage to get him. They're going to control him up a little bit longer. The Torrent Storm's going up, going to force him up to the high ground, and a shot is not enough.
And now Dyrachyo back in. That Doom has a ward.
Oh, he got a great stun. Raven, though, still on his ultimate. Now they're stuck inside the cogs. Quinn has the roll-up, though, and Dyrachyo was able to fight his way out of the cogs on the low ground, not able to chase after him.
Raven, your clock ticking to midnight, my friend. BKB
Dyrachyo running after him, isn't able to get the stun onto him. Raven He's going to have to fight for his life up against this Pango, and it looks like the damage is there just from the right clicks by the Pango by itself.
Another corridor fight that does not end well for the Muerta as Blacklist cut their losses and just bail. Once more it's Abed, preserving his 0 deaths in this game, but at what cost?
It seems a lifetime ago I lost.
Glimmers of hope in that fight. With the kiting, they got the Doom on the Alk. Like, they had two-man cogs. Basically the best you can do. But damn, is it hard for Raven to connect. Like, he still deals 6,000 damage, but it just doesn't feel like it, right? Because you're not killing anybody.
He doesn't even come close to bursting down Dyrachyo.
No. And Gaimin just kite that out better. Like, the fact that Ace got out of there off that X-Torrent, and he got force-staffed into a Torrent off the Torrent Storm on the hill, but Raven was just too far away. Feels like he needs another... He needs a mobility item or something, like a Hurricane Pike or Blink.
Blink, yeah.
And he's going to go the Hurricane Pike. But this is part of the issue with Muerta, is when you're behind like this, it feels like you always just need that one more item. But what a great start from Carlo. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. I think... You gotta... I don't know. I'm looking at this fight. It's like, well, how better do you play this, right? The only thing you can really do is hold your BKB longer there if you're Gabby and maybe hope to survive, but it's about as good as you can do.
Yeah, this entire time they're getting burned out of mana, too.
Yeah, and the second Torrent Storm is out, now you're a bit in trouble because it gives Dyrachyo time to go back in. He lands a 2-man concoction. That was just nasty. It burns so much of Raven's HP. And then the second that Pierce the Veil is out, they're instantly kiting it. That's the biggest thing in this fight. If you cannot lock them down around Muerta's ult, it's very hard to win these long engagements. I mean, Ace is just running around with no ult, and he's like having a decent impact, you know?
Yeah.
He's just walking in, killing cogs.
Also, the general HP regen of their team.
Very high.
Like Dyrachyo
Yes.
went out of that fight. Like, the reason he did 6,000 damage on Muerta without a single kill was because he would bring him down to like half.
A little quick pick off for Blacklist, 5-man smoke. Maybe
Well,
not,
maybe not so
actually.
quick. Celery staying alive for a decent amount of time while Quinn rolls around. And once again,
buyback.
BKB is used up by Raven. And now they're going to be caught in a bad situation with Dyrachyo coming in. They're trying to get the heals out. They have the Decrepify last a little bit longer with that ultimate, but Raven can't do the damage, man. These heroes are too tanky.
Too much regen. All these heroes have like baseline 30 HP regen because this Lycan's just buffing everything up. And it just feels too hard. Awkward place to fight as well when you're next to Gaimin's tier 2. They can just buy back straight in. You commit so much on an Enchantress who's instantly right in the fight. And you still have this Aegis cheese. Aegis still up for 3 minutes on Dyrachyo with a cheese in his backpack. He went this Mjolnir build on the Alk because, of course, you have the Assault Cuirass on the Lycan. So Dyrachyo just gets to play super hyper damage mode.
Now, the toughest fight is still hitting high ground against Blacklist. That's where the Muerta is
Oh, it doesn't look too hard right now.
going to feel the best. Well, Muerta's still dead. Give him a little time here. Damn.
They do have the Dark Portrait on Toku as well. Which is not the greatest Dark Portrait game, but some extra scale and extra illusions to deal with. And this will just be a free lane.
Yeah, they're going to hold on to the buyback from Abed and leave themselves with a final lane of barracks to defend. 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis, so Gaimin Gladiators, they can try and end this game before 40. Got a Tormentor to take.
I mean, you probably have like one more fight in you if you're Blacklist, right? You've got to win the next fight. And it's got to be off the Shivas from Gabby and the Hurricane Pike from Raven. We're talking about Raven getting in there. He does have a mobility item now. He has some extra attack range as well. So, in theory, he can hit a bit more reliably, but damn, you still need a good connection.
I don't think that Hurricane Pike is actually... I think he needed like the straight up Crystallis. And build into that Silver Edge. His damage is
low.
lacking now.
Yeah, like look at his damage. He's hitting for 200. Lol.
Scanning.
Like,
Yeah, when heroes have 5,000 HP, 200 damage isn't going to cut it.
I mean, the Grimstroke's currently hitting for like 176. Like, it's just like the future of Dota, right? Hitting for 200, just not what it used to be, man. There's inflation. Economy's tough out there.
Well, he got
You
level
hit for
18,
400.
so that's the level 3 ults. That ups the damage.
All right, that's pretty good. I mean, obviously his base damage is the biggest thing about this year. But
Level 18, like this window is a big upgrade for Muerta, right? Because you get level 3 ultimate and you get the level 20 talent.
yep. So he gets 150 bonus damage. He has an extra second duration. He has Mindbreaker now as well.
Okay, yeah.
You know, he has that level 15 talent. Like, there's a lot of little things going into bumping up this hero's damage, and you need it all right now because your base is just dying. You got no glyph. Anybody home? The Wolves at your door.
Okay, they're going to hit it by the Rolling Thunder. They're not going to be able to stop Duraccio right away. To grab the fight for a little bit of period of time. But still, Duraccio's committed. He's like, okay, you can win that fight if you want, but the Megas have already been taken. Now Blacklist Rivalry have to like wipe this Gaimin Gladiators team, and it's going to be all up to Raven right here in the middle of all these heroes with his ultimate pop, but the damage is just not enough. Not even close. No chance in hell.
Ahmed will not survive.
Gets another swipe in there from the Lycan for 800 damage.
Can only TP out so many times. And yeah, the base is just gone. I mean, Gabby's sitting in the back like, who am I jumping here? Well, you're jumping to another series because this one's over.
Gaimin Gladiators closed it out with the 2-0. They managed to come back in that game 1 against Blacklist Rivalry, and we talked about it. We felt